Alright, what is up, fellas and fellettes? We are back. Well, kinda. So I know this is not really what I said I was going to be doing this channel, ranking movies, but I've decided that I'm just gonna kind of do whatever I want to do, and I like movies. So, we're doing that first. In today's vid, we are going to be ranking every single Marvel Phase 1 movie. A lot of people would say the best of Marvel. We're about to find out. First up, a banger. Iron Man 1. A lot of people's favorite movies. Oh, favorite Marvel movie, you know what I'm saying? It is the beginning of Marvel. I think it is the best. I think they did an incredible job at introducing Marvel, you know what I mean? And in doing so, I think the movie itself is perfect. I think Tony is obviously, RDJ, the best person for that role. I think he did an incredible job in this beginning movie. I think that his story of getting kidnapped by, what is it, like the Taliban or something like that, and then getting shrapnel in his chest is such a cool backstory. I love that backstory. And I think that this movie is perfect all the way up until the end. I have one problem with this movie, which keeps it from an S. And that is the ending fight with Ironmonger. It led all the way up until this fight, and I feel like it was a little bit of a letdown. It was cool. It was kind of cool through some of it, but it was cool, but not my favorite. You know what I mean? A little bit lackluster, if I can say that. So for that, other than that, absolutely love this movie. That is the only negative I have about this movie. And because of that, I would say that this movie is an A. It could be S if that fight was a little bit different, but we're sticking at A. All right, I feel pretty comfortable with that. Let's move on to a very controversial movie, The Incredible Hulk. Okay, I know that a lot of people don't like this movie. And to be honest, I have no idea why. I freaking love this movie. This is my favorite rendition of Hulk ever. He is so stinking cool in this movie, bro. There are so many scenes where he's just... he's so freaking cool. He's so strong. He feels more intimidating and powerful than he's ever felt in any other Marvel project. And I think that's what Hulk should be. I think after this movie, the Hulk just kind of... He was good. He was really good in Avengers. I really like him still. Obviously, nowadays, he's kind of puny and bad. But anyway... I feel like this is by far my favorite rendition of Hulk ever. I do understand where people say that the story's a little bit weird and that the acting's not great. I can see that. But just how cool Hulk was. And Abomination at the end of this movie was just insane. That ending fight, this is the opposite for me. Iron Man, not a great fan of the ending fight. Abomination versus Hulk at the end of this movie is so freaking cool. I love this movie so much. I would be almost tempted to give it an S, but I feel like so many people will be upset about that. Because of the acting problems and because of... There is a few plot holes. I'm going to have to give it A. But I love this movie way more than a lot of people do. So we're sticking with an A. I could see a world where it could be low S for me. Well, we'll stick with A. Alright, next up. Another banger. Iron Man 2. This one, I feel like a lot of people don't like this one as well. I feel like I've heard a lot of hate between this movie. And I feel like a lot of people think that this is the worst Iron Man movie. Wait, is Iron Man 3 in... Is Iron Man 3 in Phase 1? Did I get this wrong? Hold on. Quick Google search. Alright, we're good. I didn't get it wrong, I don't think. Anyway, back to the movie. Back to Iron Man 2. I like this movie. I like it a lot. The main reason why I like this movie is I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that the Whiplash in this movie, I don't remember his actual like person name, but the villain Whiplash, I think a lot of people didn't really like him. I really liked him. Pretty much the only reason I like him though is because as a kid, Whiplash was probably one of my favorite villains ever. I thought he was so freaking cool, and getting to see him in a movie as a kid was one of the coolest experiences ever. Especially as a race car scene, as he's cutting F1 cars in half. Bro, I was so hyped as a little kid. But I don't think I can put it past Iron Man 1. I think that The story's a little bit slow at times. I don't know. I don't really like Hammer, something Hammer. I don't really like him as a villain. I think he was a kind of a weak villain, and he was funny in the wrong times. I didn't really like the comedy as much in this movie through a lot of it. It was really, really good. I don't think I can put it with Iron Man 1, though. I would say this is a B. People might hate me for that. I don't really know the status on this movie. I feel like it is not as liked as much as Iron Man 1. So maybe we're good. Don't hate me, please. Anyway, back to the next movie in order here. We got Thor. Big boy thickness. Thor. Handsome hunk. Sorry. This movie is a very interesting one. I feel like this movie is obviously an introduction to Thor. I think the first little bit of the movie, like quarter of the movie, is incredible. I think they did a great job of showing Thor like slightly through his childhood and then growing up and showing that he is going to be king, but he's too cocky, and then he goes and fights the ice elves, or what is it, the ice giants, I think. And that fight at their planet was so freaking cool. And Thor was just the introduction to Thor's power and Thor's, like, I don't really like this word, but aura at the beginning of that movie was so good. And then you didn't see that Thor for the rest of the movie until like the last few minutes. And that, I don't know, I don't really like that. Yeah, it was funny and it like brought Thor down back to earth, that he is not as it humbled Thor as it was supposed to. But I feel like a Thor movie should have more Thor, not human Thor, you know? And I feel like it kind of dragged through a lot of the middle of the movie. And the final fight, again, was a little bit depressing. In my eyes, I didn't really like the final fight. So, don't hate me, but I'm putting Thor at C. Yeah. It's not my favorite. Honestly, the first two Thors are not my favorite. They're not great. But the other one's not on here, so we're not doing that one. At least for now. Stay tuned. Okay, next up, Captain America, the first Avenger. This is, I would say, a almost equal, if not better, character introduction than Tony Stark or Iron Man. I think that they did a perfect job introducing him as a little short guy that is still as brave as hell and just wants to do all he can for his country, and then becoming jacked Steve. You know what I'm saying? Big hunk. And I think the rest of the movie was really cool. I really liked Red Skull. Red Skull did a perfect job. He was an amazing actor. But I don't know. I don't really like the World War II vibes. Or what is it? Like World War I or something like that. I have a hard time enjoying movies that are based in that timeline, around that time, like war movies like that. And I don't know. For me, I know this is gonna be hated. I know a lot of people really like this movie. I don't really enjoy it as much. I don't. Every time I rewatch it, I like it a little bit less. And I think it's just because it is based in that time. I have a hard time liking movies in that time. But other than that, this is an incredible movie. It is incredible introduction to Steve, incredible introduction to Bucky, which like lines up one of the best movies in the MCU later on. And yeah, it's a good movie. It's not my favorite. And because of that, I wouldn't say it is a C. I think it's definitely better than Thor. I would say a low B. Yeah, we'll put it B, but lower scale of B. So behind Iron Man 2. Also, if we're doing it in that order, we're putting Hulk ahead of Iron Man. Hulk's better than Iron Man. I said it. Incredible Hulk is better than Iron Man 1. I have a better time. I have a more enjoyable time rewatching that movie than Iron Man 1. All right. Now for the big bang, the big kahoo, the big daddy. Avengers 1. Might be one of the best movies of all time. This is just such a They did such a good job. All of these other movies are building up to this movie, and they absolutely nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. All of the fights in this movie were so good. Loki was one of the best villains in Marvel, period. And continued to be that. I don't know if he's a villain after this movie, but he's one of the best characters and one of the best villains in Marvel, and they did an incredible job showing him and showing his motives and showing why he's doing this. It's just such a good movie. It's just hype from beginning to end, to introduction to every single character past the movie. Natasha, Hawkeye, those people that don't have their own movies. They did such a good job introducing them. Well, they've been introduced prior, but like showing what they've actually been doing. You know what I'm saying? This movie is just so good. There's so many high moments in this movie. And the final fight in New York is still probably one of the best fights in the Marvel. It obviously doesn't surpass a lot of the Infinity War Endgame stuff, but it's still really, really good movie. Man. This movie is what made Marvel Marvel. And because of that, this is our first S. This is high S. This is the best it can get. This is up there with, I don't really want to spoil it, but I have a few S's. I have a few S's in Marvel. I have like 3, I think. Maybe 4. And this is up there with it. And it's high. It's high S. So yeah. That is Marvel Phase 1. Thank you for watching the vid. We're going to go back. I think our next video is probably going to be a gaming vid, so stay tuned for that. Probably a horror game. I'm thinking Observation Duty just came out with a Observation Duty 8, so we might play that. That might be fun. If not, we'll play something else. So yeah, stay tuned. Stick around. Subscribe if you don't mind. It would be really nice. I'd quite appreciate it. Give you a big wet smooch through the camera. You know what I mean? If you subscribed. If you didn't subscribe, click off now, because I gotta, if you subscribed. Bye.